Hello everyone, this is Avery Parkinson with the Member Services team, here to walk you through DNA testing your Angus animals. There are multiple tests available. They include the SNP parentage verification test, which is $18, the Angus GS test, which includes the parentage verification test, which costs $45. The Freemarn test is $65, coat color is $20. Genetic conditions, they are each $22, and they include AM, CA, DD, DM, DW, MA, NH, OH, and OS. The other alternative is the genetic condition package, which is $55, which includes the AM, CA, DD, MA, NH, and OS testing. If you're going to do those 6 tests, we do recommend doing this package as it is a little bit more bang for your buck. There is the leptin test, which is $20, and the BBD test, which is $8. You can submit a hair, blood, tissue, or semen sample to complete any of these tests. The one exception is the Freemarn test, which requires a full blood sample to be completed and sent to the lab. You will need to ship this sample to the lab frozen. If you are completing Freemarn testing, please contact our office and we'll be glad to walk you through the whole process and the steps required. For more instructions on how to collect the samples to submit for these tests, please see our Collecting DNA Samples video. And for the most current tests available and pricing, please see our website and check out our current fee schedule. There are a few steps involved in the process of DNA testing your animals. The first is record your animal with the Canadian Angus Association. Recording can be either having a registration number, a pending ID number, or having a commercial unregistered number. The next one is set up the test request. This can be done in Angus Now when you go to register the animal, or you can phone our office or email registry at cdnangus.ca or submit a form online off the website indicating which animal to set up and which test you would like set up. The next one is DNA paperwork will be sent to you once our work order is closed for you, whether that's your Angus Now or our work order for you. If you have email, it'll be emailed to you. Otherwise, it'll be mailed to you, and if it's mailed to you, you can ask that we fax it to you to increase the efficiency and speed of getting it there. The next one is collect the DNA samples. After that, once you have your samples collected, submit clearly labeled samples with the accompanying DNA test paperwork that we have sent to you. The information on where to send it and how to collect it is on the final page of the paperwork sent to you. If samples are received at the lab without paperwork and proper identification, they are subject to an additional $54 fee per sample. Once the sample is at the lab, testing will then commence, and it takes approximately 21 calendar days from the day the sample is received at the lab to have those results. And once we have received results, you will be notified via email or mail with a genotype certificate. This is what your DNA paperwork looks like, regardless of if you set up one test or hundreds of tests. It's just a matter of if you'll get one page versus hundreds of pages. So in the upper left-hand corner, you'll have the address of the lab. This is where you'll be sending the samples to. Underneath that is the breed. It says Angus. It will always say Angus because it's obviously coming from the Angus Association. To the right of that is the date sampled. Please indicate this day that you sampled the animals. Beneath that is the name of the owner and the CAA ID number. This is of the person who requested the test. Then to the right of that is the name of the person taking the sample. Just indicate who took the samples for each animal. Beneath that, mailing address and telephone number of the person who requested the test. And then it's the address and phone number of the person taking the sample is just to the right of that. Now in the middle, you'll see the main section. It says animals and parents. So underneath the animal, it'll list the name, tattoo, and ID number, along with the birth date and sex of the animal that has been set up for the test. On the very left-hand side, you'll see the column purpose, and that'll indicate what test is being done. On the right-hand side there is the sire and dam of the parents being tested. If you have set up multiple sires or dams, the animal will be listed on multiple rows above and below each other with the sires and dams there. But otherwise, if you are just testing one sire and one dam per animal, it'll just be one animal per row, and then the next animal beneath that. The purpose of the test, the legend is right there for your viewing pleasure. Just you'll read that and know exactly what tests you are being completed. And beneath that is just a signature and dates saying that you have labeled samples correctly and are going to be submitting soon. This paperwork needs to be submitted with all of the samples that you're sending. If you do not have this paperwork, do not send the sample to the lab yet. If you do send the sample to the lab without this paperwork, you will incur a $54 per sample charge, and no one likes to pay extra money. So just take the time and do your due diligence and collect and get this paperwork with those samples before submitting to the lab. As mentioned previously, you can submit hair, blood, tissue, or semen samples to complete all of your testing. Hair cards are available at our office, $5 for a package of 10. Blood cards, also available at the office, $2.50 for a package of 10. The Allflex Tissue Sampling Unit, otherwise known as the TSU, is from our office, can be purchased for $30 for a package of 10. You can also do a semen sample, which is just your semen straw. For more info on how to collect each of these different samples, please see our Collecting DNA Samples video. This is what the final page for your DNA paperwork will look like. This will be the exact same regardless if you set up 1 test or 100 tests. At the top, you'll see directions for collecting and shipping hair samples. Handling sample, this is just going to be how to collect a hair sample, but if you want to use any of the other sample options, you are more than welcome to. In the middle there, there will be a ship samples to. Please ship the samples to the address indicated. When you are mailing the samples, please do not send collect. And if you are mailing, do not ask for a signature, as your samples will be denied. You will receive results approximately 21 calendar days from when the sample is received at the lab, not from when you mailed it. Please be aware of this when you're submitting samples, or if you require results for a specific time frame. Results will be sent to you from your association, and you'll see that on the genotype certificate that is sent out to you. If you have an email on file, the genotype certificates will be emailed to you. If you do not have an email, they will be mailed to you. How to read your results. The parentage of results will be sent to you on the genotype certificate. If you see qualified by a sire or dam, that means that is the qualified sire or dam. If you see disqualified, then that sire or dam does not qualify as the sire. If you see no genotype, this means that that particular animal doesn't have a DNA sample on file, or it may be in a different format. Feel free to contact our office about that no genotype animal, and we can confirm for you. If there is no qualified sire or dam, please contact our office with other possible parent animals, and we will get that set up for you. For genetic condition testing, if you see an F after the condition, the animal is free from the condition and will not pass it on to the progeny. If you see a C, that animal is a carrier of that specific condition. All progeny from that particular animal will need to be tested for that condition if it is for AM, OS, MA, NH, or CA. All other conditions we do just monitor, and it will be at your discretion to see if you test for those progeny. If you see an A, that animal is affected by that condition. Some frequently asked questions that we receive are 1, why was I charged an additional fee? So there are 2 additional fees associated with DNA testing. One is a $4 loose hair charge. This is $4 per hair sample that is loose. So how do you avoid this? Use a hair card to secure the hair together. Please contact the Canadian Angus office if you want to purchase hair cards. The next one is a $54 charge. This is for any sample received at the lab without DNA paperwork, without being set up prior, or mislabeled, for instance. You can check out our website for a list of other reasons why you may be charged this fee. So how to avoid? Follow the process outlined previously in this video. This includes recording the animal in our database, setting up a test, and submitting with the DNA paperwork. Please ensure all of your samples being submitted to the lab have been set up for a test. For instance, if you have a bull calf that you want to parent verified, you will need to set up a test for both the calf and his dam. If you don't set up for the dam and send the sample to the lab, her sample will be charged this additional $54 fee. 2. I received an unfit sample result. What does this mean? This means that the lab was not able to obtain a result for you as there was not enough DNA in the sample submitted. When an unfit sample is reported, the lab has already tested the sample twice, one at your expense and one at theirs. If you receive an unfit sample and require DNA testing to be completed, you will need to complete a retest for that specific test, which will require a brand new test to be set up and a new sample to be sent to the lab, along with the brand new paperwork. 3. How long do DNA samples last for? So as long as samples are stored in appropriate conditions, they should last for years. 4. How do I label samples? So label the sample with the tattoo of the animal that the animal belongs to. You can also include the name and registration number of the animal. For more information on that, you can also see our Collecting DNA Samples video.